What's going on, guys? Welcome to your weekly dose of disappointment. My name is Jonathan, and for this video we're going to be setting up my first ever Create This book. If you don't know what a Create This book is, it's pretty much an art prompt book. It works like Wreck This Journal, except it gives you prompts on how you can end up creating the book. But I'm sure if you already looked this video up, you know what a Create This book is. So let's get rid of my ugly face and start decorating. This is the way that you create this book will come in the mail. It's pretty plain, so I'm going to be decorating the front and the back of the book, as well as the spine and the edging of the inner part of the book. But first thing that I'm going to do is actually write my Instagram username in the first page, because I actually know somebody that was able to get an item returned because they had their Instagram username and the person was able to actually DM them. And also, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, that's at Jonathan A. Espinosa. My original idea for the cover was that I would make the border a metallic when I don't have any metallic art supplies. So I thought I had a brilliant idea at the time, and I thought that I could just steal some silver nail polish from my mom, and oh boy, was this a mistake? This tiny nail polish brush and the consistency of the nail polish are so hard to work with until I decided to actually take some of the nail polish and put it into a paint palette and use a paintbrush. It was still really hard to work with, and yes, this completely ruined that paintbrush, but at least I was actually making some progress. The more I painted and looked at the logo, the more that I hated it. Why does it look like that? Why is the paint dripping on one side and geometrical on the other side? And why does the borderline not go through it? I don't like it. So I decided that I would use the same nail polish to paint around the border of it. This might have been a mistake. This is how it looked like once I finished the border after 2 coats of nail polish and losing my last 2 brain cells because of the fumes. I do not recommend this. Like I said, I realized that I hate this logo, so my first original idea was to cover it up with masking tape because I should be able to sketch over that and design my own logo. But when I tested this out, boy did I get a surprise. I don't know why I thought masking tape was a lot more opaque than it is. You could see the logo right through it, so I couldn't do more layers of that because then it'd be so thick. So then I had the idea of covering it up with white acrylic paint. But I don't own any white acrylic paint, so my final idea was to cover up the paint drips with some black acrylic paint, and I'm honestly glad this happened because I ended up loving the way that this design looked. Once I painted the logo black, I tried sketching over it, but I ran into some problems because my pencil was just scraping off the black acrylic paint, and that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was that I actually couldn't erase the graphite off of it, so what I ended up doing was just taking a picture from the internet and transferring it straight onto the acrylic paint so that I didn't need to sketch it out. I used The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo, and if you don't like this idea, I really think that you're just upset because this is really clever. Are you kidding me? The creation of this book? This is good. As you saw, I went over the graphite with the silver Sharpie. Do not comment saying that I could have used a Sharpie over the border because I did not find the Sharpie until after I was looking for the masking tape. Don't come for me, I'm sensitive. And right here, I am covering the edges with some black marker. It's just an Ohuhu marker, it's just a permanent marker. You could use a Sharpie, but I like the fact that this Ohuhu marker had a broad tip, so I just did that around all 3 sides. The back cover had me a little stuck because there's so much writing on there that I felt like I should keep some of it, but none of it speaks to me. And since I had already bit the bullet and covered the front logo with black acrylic paint, I decided that I'm going to cover the whole back cover with some black acrylic paint. As you can see, at first, I was thinking that I was going to leave the part that says creative outlet, but it just felt like I was reaching for something to keep, so I just ended up covering over that as well, and I made the whole cover black. After that, I did the same thing that I did in the front, which was trace over a design and then go over it with a silver Sharpie. But while I'm doing that, I want to talk about something, because I think some of you are going to have a problem with the fact that I'm tracing. But what I want to say is that the original idea that I had was, like I said, to cover the cover with masking tape and then do my own sketch over that. But I still wanted to make the creation. So the reason why I didn't feel badly about tracing this is because this is something that's constantly recreated over and over. Like, I have a painting of the creation in my bedroom and it wasn't painted by Michelangelo himself. Does that make sense? So if my original idea was to do the same sketch on some masking tape, I didn't feel badly about tracing someone else's recreation if it's already not an original piece. But I guess that's just my current point of view, so honestly educate me if you think I'm wrong on this. This is the way the final product looked after I laminated it with some packaging tape like I've shown you guys in a previous video. As you can see, I left the spine pretty bare. All I did was outline it with a silver Sharpie. Since I had already erased the logo from the front cover, I wanted to still be able to read what the book was. That's all the pages I'm going to be doing for this week. If you guys like that, I am planning on making this book a series, so you guys will get to see a lot more of it. But for now, that's all that I'm going to do, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.